most DJ journey. That's what we
Yeah, PR. Yeah, she gets in that PR mode.
Yes, indeed. But it's not about us. It's about our guests.
Yes.
Awesome. And we have Ian, the producer here.
I go by Barnacle Boy.
Barnacle Boy.
Barnacle Boy, aka.
Producer, artist,
AKA.
AKA.
And we have the counterpart, Pete Ferrante.
Yes, the videographer, director, making this happen.
What up, Pete?
Oh, I like it. Okay.
So let's give it up for these two guys.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having us. Yeah.
You're in the biggest show in the world right now.
Yeah. Well, we really do go around the world.
Yeah.
You guys got fans over in London right now saying.
Yay! Spotlight artist.
We gotta know, man. So let's just start it off, man. Where are you guys from? Where are you from?
So I'm from North Carolina.
Hey.
Yeah. So right now I'm
you at the All-Star game?
What's that? No, I wasn't. No, I
You were
wasn't.
here.
No. So I'm from North Carolina. I live in Fayetteville right now as we speak. So it's like really like in the cornfields kind of place. But it's good though, because like I can focus on the music kind of thing. Like
True.
No distractions type deal.
True
so,
that.
Yeah, I live with my girlfriend, my my 2 dogs, my cat. Got a little animal family going on.
Hey, that is.
Little Noah's Ark.
Yeah, right.
So your surroundings then is really shaping what you do with your music. And,
Absolutely.
And you're a DJ as well. Right?
Yes, I do DJ. Yeah, I actually just got through playing a show like 4 days ago. Yeah,
Great, by the way.
Yeah. We had a really good turnout. Yeah.
How long you been spending?
I've been spinning for probably 7 years, maybe 8 years now. Actually, producing wise, I've been doing like that. I've been doing that for like nearly 11 years.
Okay. So you started off as a producer then?
Yeah, started off as a producer and then moved up. And then I learned how to DJ because like I had like local DJs tell me like, yo, you need to be spinning your stuff. Like, so I bought like a little controller and then like moved on from there and that kind of thing. So
pretty solid.
Yeah.
How do you describe then, the music that you typically put out? How do you describe it?
That's kind of complicated because like I go all over the place. Like I've had so many different projects, but this Barnacle Boy project is really, I guess you would say wave music would be the closest genre, which is like a subgenre of EDM kind of. But I also I produce for other artists and stuff like rappers and singers and stuff like that. But like I would say it's like emotional, bass heavy trap music.
Ooh, loving it.
Yeah. I use a lot of like vocal sampling. I also do. I'm delving into singing myself as well. So my most recent, I actually just put out an EP and a lot of it features my own vocals too. So I'm kind of going into that realm of things too. So like producing and singing.
Okay, so usually when they say that on the show, you gotta cut a rug and sing for us.
I don't know if I'm gonna when I record, I gotta make sure.
He won't sneak you.
No, I gotta make sure like my girlfriend's not home, like my dogs are in another room, like I gotta do that shit.
Ian's right. Yo, do you have any plugins or auto-tune?
Yeah, right.
So we can turn it up.
Yeah, can we like pause the screen, like let me practice outside real quick?
I love it.
Yeah, right.
And we come from the Aretha Franklin
That's
and
right.
Teddy Pendergrass.
That's right.
We just go in.
We
just go in.
Right.
Yeah, you had to be able to sing. You had to have it, but But now it's another type of talent to be able to artistically create something that is still musically inclined, that gives us a vibe. Mm-hmm. Tiz, you are so funny right now because Tiz is like, that's cool, but I'm still old school.
I am.
Me too. We are the old school. But no, just appreciating. Oh yeah, exactly. You all have that.
I respect the roots.
Speaking of that, so tell us where your influences come from. I'm so glad you said that.
So my parents, they were both in bands growing up. They were in like punk rock, but they were also into hip hop too.
Bands.
So they were like punk rock bands.
School.
So they kind of passed that gene down to me. So that creativity gene. Like my grandfather, rest in peace. He was also super creative. Just so much like create. I come from a really creative family.
Yeah.
So So I don't know. They really inspired me to start picking up instruments and learning at a young age. And then so I don't know. I was probably 12 years old, and my mom introduced me to Young Jeezy, T.I.
Your mom? I love
it.
Yeah. So she's very she's well versed in music.
Very well versed.
So you were born into you touching that. Yeah.
We
Okay.
have to have your moms on the show.
That'd be awesome. I think she might be tuning in right now.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's
Totally.
Yeah.
That's
So, independent of being birthed, out of this musical genius, this vibe of music, are there any influences that you have that are independent of your family, like a particular artist?
Okay.
And maybe a couple from different genres, but definitely starting like with your favorite.
Yeah, so Lil Peep, honestly, who recently, rest in peace. He passed away last year. Like, it's definitely different than the music that I make, but his music kind of like influenced me in a way.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because it's I wouldn't say it's a totally different genre, but it's in a
It could be the energy.
It's the
energy.
It is the energy.
that he
It's got that
carries,
emotion,
totally.
the emotional energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of what influenced me. And then so I got that, and then I got there's like this Lil Peep. There's my buddy Gunkst, he's like a producer, and he's like getting into rapping right now. Like he's like my favorite rapper like at the moment. Like yeah, and he's like he's got a lot of unreleased stuff that he's been putting out. But anyway, he's a big influence to me as well. So
right.
Yeah, and then Jackson De Silva, who's also another. Most of my influences actually come from vocalists.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
And I love how he's so short. You guys
Yeah.
see that? Like he's absolute with it.
Yeah, and then Diplo, of course. Diplo's my number one, just because he's so universal. Like that's kind of how I aim to be.
Yeah.
Like I want to be like that chameleon that can produce Moombahton or reggaeton and trap and house music.
Limitation.
No limits at all.
Levels.
Yeah,
Levitate. Exactly. So with that being said, what do you hope to accomplish this year? Like it's something specific? Musically?
I just want to try. Yeah, world domination. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, just travel the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean just travel in the world. Honestly, that's the big thing. Like, luckily
I love it.
Luckily enough, recently I was able to kind of drop the whole 9-to-5 job and my top 40 DJ gig that I had, and strictly being able to make a living off of my music, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's that I already hit that step. So that
I
was
love the way you
my
honor
next
that.
step.
That's gratitude.
Yeah.
Because everybody does not have that here in LA. They're still trying to find their way where they can just live off of that.
Yeah.
Mad respect for your gratitude.
So traveling the world. Like hopefully, there's talks of me getting booked in Moscow this year.
Woo!
So shout out Russia.
Shout out to Vladimir.
Yes. Wait a minute.
Oh boy.
This summer.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, you trying to go this summer?
Potentially.
This summer, Pete, you trying to get out there this summer?
Yeah, like we're going.
Oh, yeah.
He's going. I'm gonna try to go.
Pete, I love the way you come in. Pete comes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Pete comes in.
So we know that. Let me step in for a second.
Yes.
We know that your music has got this unique flavor.
Mhm.
So I want to know this collaboration that you and this gentleman next to you, Pete, have. Is that bringing that uniqueness as well? Because I mean, his vision and his aesthetic and what he's seeing is a little edge. So
Yeah, so he is like his visual side of things accompany my audio side of things in like a perfect mesh. Like it is like the way he his style that he like shoots in, like everything. It's just a perfect combination. Like it accompanies the music perfectly. So
how did you get that? Where did that come from, Pete?
So yeah, my unique aesthetic kind of was like very well. I'm from Pittsburgh originally, and totally.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, no, I was actually just wearing a Steelers hoodie.
Hi.
It was too hot in here.
Loyalty once again. Love it.
No, yeah, Pittsburgh, yeah, they're crazy about that. But so when I was like in college over there, I just bought a camera and we would just head down to the city all the time. And like Pittsburgh's like really coming up with like the art scene, and they have like a lot of like these like blue like LED lights like all over the city. And like so like I would just go over there and like just like take photos at night with my friends and like just like edit and like post. It was like damn, like all these like LED like blue lights, like so much with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like a few months later, actually, like I moved to Brooklyn. Like I relocated to like New York. It was
that's
like more
New York
that.
family.
That was crazy too. And then
I love that about them.
But yeah, it's kind of like that like futuristic vibe that I like kind of bring on, and like his music kind of is like the audio version of that too. So
Marriage.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Exactly. That's what we work towards here, even with the Dream Team, like everything just blending in like that.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
So, Pete and Barnacle Boy, are there any projects that you guys are currently working on right now?
Oh yeah. So he can probably elaborate on that, but something what he's missing is like his visuals. and like his like live shows, which are insane. Like he can pull a crowd, like move a crowd. Like I mean, like the other day he was performing live, and like I was like focused on him the whole time. I wasn't really like looking into the crowd, and like he put this one song off his new EP. And I remember looking into the crowd and seeing like 30 foam lights just like everywhere, just shining on him. It was just crazy. So if I can like elaborate on that like visually, like it'll just be like create a master performance. It's like which is what you need these days is like live performance.
True.
Live performance as an artist is everything, as well as storytelling.
Yes, if you want to keep people coming back.
Yeah. And someone who's doing a great job at that right now is like Childish Gambino.
Yes.
Like
all
his music videos, I don't know if
everybody's
you guys know
saying
about
that.
they all mix together, right? And like to be an artist, like you need that like larger story, And so right now we're actually working on like a Barnacle Boy movie, and it's we're gonna be shooting it this summer.
Yay!
Yeah, so it's like
writing it.
I mean, I gotta go back. You got something?
No, I was gonna cast Marquita Monet for that movie.
Thank you. Yeah, I am a superstar. That's me, Pete. Yeah, that's me. Okay, I just wanted you guys to look. Okay, just kidding.
I do want to.
Oh, boy.
We might be shooting it in Russia, but if we're here in LA,
Oh my God, they need this culture.
no
It's all
Russia.
about set design. You can design Russia.
I'm not designing.
I mean, Russia's like really advanced too. Like,
Tiz and I are stars.
yeah, like Russia's like way ahead of the game, like fashion wise. It's crazy. Like just from my fan base and like looking into like certain people, like it's like crazy, like how like their fashion and stuff is influenced like American fashion. It's like
Oh yeah, totally.
like for example, like the
That's
Pepsi,
everywhere. Yeah.
like the Pepsi logo, like it was like a thing like big in Russia, like probably like last
Yeah.
year, and then like this year now you see it like an H&M and like all these other shops like have like the Pepsi logo. It's just like
Well, America really has no originality to a certain extent as it relates to fashion, except for like maybe like urban hip hop, that type of things, 54, 70s. We got our own thing that the whole world, rides off of when it comes to like urban.
Americans started, they enhance it.
First of all, Tiz everyone, the listening audience, Tiz is really on the side of
And
me.
here's the thing, this is you guys' lucky day. We have a person that's born and raised in Russia in the building.
Really?
So if you have any questions about where to go to have singing.
Oh my God, I loved her. I knew it was something about her.
Cat stays on the camera.
Oh my
And
God.
she's on the cutting edge of what's going on.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
edgy.
I know
For
what
sure.
that's like, so totally.
Yeah.
So I do want to know, man. I want to just digress a little bit. Barnacle Boy. Where did that come from? How did that come about? Like,
Alright, so
what is that?
I was
That's good,
Like,
all right. So like I said, I've been producing music for probably about 11 years now. So I've gone through so many different projects. So like it started out with like, I don't want to name all the ones I started out with, but like, so I was living in Denver, Colorado at the time.
Motown.
Yeah. Oh, word? I used to stay like right off of Lincoln and Spear. Like,
Okay,
you
you're
know,
right there.
yeah. So anyway, I was sitting there and like, it was legal up there. So like we're chilling, smoking.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
I'm like by myself one night, just like I'm sitting on this like graveyard of tracks because like at the moment I'm producing like really like heavy like EDM like festival kind of bangers like stuff like that, and like I had this big collection of tracks that were like they just didn't fit that sound that I was going like there, or at least the sound that it was called Cyclo. That was my old project, which I still might revamp, but anyway, it just didn't fit that sound. So I was sitting there and I was like smoking one night and I'm like, I need to find a name, like an alias to put this like huge collection of music I have out under. And then like, I know I used to watch SpongeBob as a kid. Like,
okay, see, I was gonna ask that. I kept saying that earlier. I was like, man, that sounds like SpongeBob.
Yeah, so like, so I was listening to this other producer, UV Boy, and like Big Boy spells his name with an I, like UV Boy spells his name with an I, and I'm like, Barnacle Boy on SpongeBob was spelled with a Y, but if like I put an I on it, like maybe I can just like cop that. And So like that's pretty much how that name came about. And so like it was cool because like I was able to kind of network that music, that like collection of music I had through my Cyclo project at the time, through SoundCloud with like reposts and stuff like that. So I was able to like push out all this music and then repost it onto my Cyclo SoundCloud. Therefore, like that demographic got my music. And then it kind of just got to spread like wildfire from there.
Wow,
so,
love it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
that is okay. So wait, so Pete, what's the nickname, man? We got one?
No, I just go by Peter A. Ferrante, Peter. Yeah,
all right.
Italian.
Straight.
Pete's in the house.
Yeah,
You know, this is one of my favorite questions to ask our artists that come in. Is there a particular moment in your life or in your career that you're most proud of? Sometimes it's something musically related, and then sometimes it's something that's not even necessarily music related.
So are you like saying like my most like proudest
Yeah,
accomplishment
like
kind of thing?
yeah,
Or, like,
literally a moment in time that you can think of that you're most proud of.
Honestly, it was as much as I enjoyed DJing Top 40. It got really. I lived directly above the club that I DJ'd at, so it was like it was cool. It was cool for like a month, but like I mean,
when you
got,
did the rest,
yeah. I mean, it got. I mean, it was.
Uber ride, just like roll out.
Yeah, I mean that part was cool. That part was cool, but like it was a point where like there were so many after parties happening at my house to where like I would like be done DJing like, and I'd walk upstairs, I'd want to go to sleep. There's like 40 kids in my house just partying it up, and I'm just like, oh my god. So like anyway, so that kept on going and going and going. I was like, oh, I'm getting frustrated with this or whatever. And so like I finally checked my distributor, which is where I distribute my music because I'm independent. I put out everything independently. So like kind of like where my income comes in at or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I checked it and quickly realized that I didn't need to work that Top 40 DJing job anymore. So at that moment, I was just like, I accomplished that first step of what I really wanted to get to. Yeah. So that'd be my biggest.
That is awesome. That's a good one too. That's a good one.
Being able to make a transition from like doing, I mean, as like I love DJing, but I love producing. Like,
right.
I love
making that money, a stable income,
and
doing what you love to do.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So tell me this: was it that night where you had 40 kids in your like living room, and you're like, hold on, let me check my Spotify.
I love it.
It kind of. It was gradual.
I love how he makes it plain. Journey makes it plain.
Yeah, it was gradual. I mean, it was just like kind of like it just kept on happening. Like finally, like my buddy Mike Rose, like he's a good homie of mine from my hometown. He actually put me onto the distributor. I used TuneCore to distribute my music or whatever. And he was like, you can make some money with this stuff. I'm like, word. Like, I mean, I kind of like take, I mean, I was like, whatever kind of thing. Like, I just want to get on Spotify at this point. Like this is going back in time, whatever. And so like, I just got frustrated with the amount of after parties and stuff that was going on. Like, I didn't even have a door to my room. Like, it was just like this, like swing thing. So like, I'd walk in and there's like kids in there, just like
eating your cereal,
everything. That's
doing
real
everything,
nice.
like beyond that, doing everything under the sun in my room. Like, I'm trying to go to bed. Like, I've got there's at one point like this girl was like passed out on my futon, and like my studio's across my futon, like projectile vomits on my TV, and I think it was that moment where I was like, all right, let me check my TuneCore real quick.
Like Journey said.
So yeah, I would definitely say that's kind of.
So the first thing you did was move, or either said no, you can't come into my place.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, and then I met my girlfriend or whatever, and then like we moved. Yeah, so like shout out Jessie. I think she's watching right now.
Yay, Jessie!
Jessie saved your life.
Yeah, pretty much, she really did. Yeah.
I'm moving you to a farm. I'm gonna give you dogs.
Absolutely. No, she
That's
really
a beautiful
did. And
thing.
like, we moved out to like the middle. I mean, it's definitely not like the nicest place, but I mean, it's exclusive, and I can focus on what I need to focus on. And we got like a little family together.
So she rides for you. It doesn't matter that you're not like in the penthouse right now.
Yeah.
She rides for you right where you are now.
Absolutely.
Love is a beautiful thing.
It is, yeah.
Just thought I'd add that in. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah,
okay.
Me too.
Shout out to Jessie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you want to tell your supporters out there about you? What do you want them to know specifically about you?
I mean, I'm gonna keep on making music till I'm in a nursing home. If not later than that,
even
when I'm in a nursing home. I mean, that's it. Barnacle Man. Barnacle Man. I don't know when I'm gonna have to upgrade from Barnacle Boy to Barnacle Man. Right. It'll be kind of weird being like
Barnacle Grandpa.
Barnacle Grandpa.
Yeah. So cute.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's dope. So where can we follow you, man? Where can we follow you? Both of you, actually. Where can we follow you? Follow your work on Instagram, social medias, whatever. So
it's actually funny. I just changed my handles on SoundCloud and like because there's big complication. But on Instagram, it's Barnacle Boy Official. YouTube is just Barnacle Boy. YouTube.com/C/Barnacle Boy. SoundCloud is SoundCloud.com/Barnacle Boy Music. Facebook is Facebook.com/Barnacle Boy Music. And then Spotify is that long URL that I just can't even list out.
Just search your name.
Yeah,
just search your name.
Barnacle Boy.
Exactly.
Yeah, same with Apple Music. Yeah, like
Barnacle Boy with an I.
Yeah, with the I. Yeah. I mean, they got if you just Google it, like there's like a Wikipedia page and stuff like that, so you can like link to all my stuff through that kind of thing. So
Definitely, man. That's awesome.
You built yourself. You bring.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's good
I have
stuff.
respect.
So, what is then your superpower through all this? What is your superpower that people, that when it's you, that's what you do?
I guess creating. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I consider that a superpower, but that's what I guess that would be my superpower.
That
Just
is
creating,
like
because I love to create. Like
Yeah.
yeah. And then if I could have a superpower, I'd like to be able to turn like water to Capri Sun because I just love Capri Sun.
How cute, Bone Capri Sun.
That
It
would
makes
be
me
like,
feel like I'm on a field trip.
yeah, exactly.
It's like
yeah.
I want a sandwich.
Yeah, like I
A
want
sandwich and some chips and an apple.
right, some Pacific coolers, some tropical time.
What do you feel? Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Like when you were little and you took
Oh,
your lunch.
absolutely. I still drink Capri Sun every day. It's crazy. I played the show that I just played. Somebody brought me a box of Capri Suns to the show. It happens at just about every show.
so
I'm
sweet.
seeing.
That's what you wanted your people to know. You
Absolutely.
love Capri
Capri
Sun.
Sun.
Yeah, I love Capri Sun.
That's how you
Since
get.
this is a worldwide show, if anyone from Capri Sun is
Listen,
Yeah, yo, sponsor me, bro.
Sponsor here.
I swear, I'll rep you guys.
Exactly.
Come talk to
Woo,
us.
you would do a
Come talk.
commercial?
Yeah, right.
Woo.
It's funny because I've actually had a few people reach out to Capri Sun, like actually wanting like them to sponsor me. It's pretty funny.
We put that energy on you. We
We gonna
put
call
that
that
energy
energy
on
out,
you.
man.
We believe
Appreciate
we're
that.
people of faith and we're very spiritual.
Absolutely.
Woo, woo, woo. It's gonna happen.
Voodoo, man.
That is
Yeah.
not. Listen,
It's gonna
first of all, I'm from New Orleans and Blue is
There might be a
I
Capri
am
Sun.
love.
Yeah, there might be.
I am of love.
Yeah, there might be a Capri Sun rep walking down the alleyway right now.
Exactly.
Walk out, it's like,
See, you're a man of faith and work and
Absolutely.
integrity.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love it. I love it, man.
Well, there you have it. Trip Digital
Yes.
Radio presents LA Style Magazine. Let's give it up
Yes.
to Barnacle Boy and Pete Durante.
Way to go, guys! Woo!
Thank you for
And
being
big shouts to SpongeBob in the
Yeah,
SpongeBob!
Shout out Mermaid Man.
You guys are so fun.
It's
That was so good. Like, it's the little things that make us happy.
absolutely.
Like, tell the truth, when we were kids, it's just like, I got my Capri Sun, and then I got my chick.